Welcome back to Cook's Custom Speed Shed. It's been about a month since we made any video footage here. There's a reason for that. It's been kind of a busy month. Guy made some life changes. Moose has been busy. You know, he's got a young feller and a dad that's not in the best of health. He's in the hospital for a while. He had to get I think he had to get part of his leg amputated. So Moose has been busy. You know, he had to build a deck and wheelchair accessibility, lift, and all that stuff. You know, that's obviously understanding. And on top of that, this guy made a few changes in his tow rig setup. Sold his 21 Sierra to his dad. Took his 09 Tundra as a partial trade, and I sold that truck to him and took his truck, and then sold his truck, and then saved a little bit and bought a different truck. And anyhow, we ended up with an 11-250 with a 6.7 Power Stroke that's all tuned up. There's a guy and his crew chief, Graham Elliott. We usually haul two trailers, so I'll haul the race car trailer and Graham will haul the travel trailer. Well, you know, life gets busy and people have things to do, and you can't always rely on your brother, even though he's always there when I need him. But you know, sometimes you can't make it racing. The guy, when he finishes this Trans Am, just wants to be able to go, "Hey, I'm going racing. Who's coming?" "No." Pin up to my trailer and down the road I go. So I'm going to get something that has living quarters in the front, gooseneck trailer, you know, car hauler in the back, living quarters in the front. That way, whenever I want to go racing, I can go racing, and it don't matter who comes with me. And hopefully the wife will start coming again then too. Anyhow, I should have taken some videos because we have been out here kind of tinkering with the Trans Am, but this just goes to show you what kind of stuff you run into when you're doing something as drastic of a build as this. You're basically building a race car out of nothing. This thing's a shell. Well, it's probably less than a shell, honestly. So anyway, if you're looking at that 9-inch housing in behind us here, I got my brackets on there where they need to be now. I got the bars set the lengths that they should be close to be able to get it under there and lock everything up and make a few tack welds. Triple check your measurements, bring it out. Moose can come by and just burn that in there. Moose is a ticketed welder. I'm a good welder, but when it comes to structural stuff, we'll leave it to the professionals. Yeah. But yeah, it just goes to show you that we ordered the brackets for this diff. I mean, they're kind of universal, so they can work on a Dana 60 or a 4 9-inch or a GM 12 bolt or whatever the hell you're working on. Most of them have 3-inch axle tubes. But because this guy didn't do enough research, which is common, most of his friends will agree with that. Just click buy now and we'll worry about that later. When we bought the competition back half frame kit, the only thing that was available at the time was a 20-inch wide frame, which makes it really narrow. More of a dragster frame, not a door car frame. But we're going to make it work because the other frame was double the price. And I'm starting to realize why the other frame was double the price, because it was a lot harder to get the brackets for a door car to work, because we actually had to take each one of these brackets. My buddy Moose took them to work. They got a CNC machine, CNC bore, and oversized them enough so that they just slip on to where we needed them, because normally on any other car, your brackets end up way over here out on the axle tube, because you got a 24-inch wide frame or a 26-inch wide frame and so on and so forth, and whatever you end up back here. Well, on this one, if you slide these back, we're actually on the axle housing. We're not on the axle tube, which is a lot larger. So we had to make the brackets a bigger diameter bore to make what we have work. And now we're going to have to gusset the back and the front, make sure that, you know, there's enough strength there to take the power that we're going to put to this thing. So yeah, for the last month we've been dealing with, oh yeah, there's another part of my month. My grandmother, she finally moved out of her townhouse and she went to a assisted living retirement home, which she's a lot happier. She's got a lot more company. You know, I still work, my dad's busy. Anywho's, I lost my winter storage for the old Red Dragon over there. And as you can see by the size of my shop, great. So I had to do some shuffling around, move the tube chassis out of the shop from one trailer, and then decided to put my sleds in the other trailer. And you know, as the old saying goes, if the man with the most toys wins, boy, I'm in the top running, but I ain't got nowhere to put none of them So on top of all of that, we've also been doing house rentals because we're eventually going to end up selling this place so a guy can get something with some more property and have room to keep all his junk at home. So lots has been going on. Some life changes, and eventually, hopefully, everything works out for the better. But for this winter, I don't think we'll be out of this house yet because I still got lots of work to do to that. So if anyone knows anywhere that has paid indoor storage for the winter, just, message a fella. He's looking for a spot. So yeah, I'm gonna get to getting those brackets squared where they need to be. I'm gonna put the 9-inch center section, which is gutted. Yeah, there's another problem we ran into. The guy started putting this together, went to slip the pig that Chris Newman lent me for mock-up into the housing that's over here, and that pig's got highway gears in it, but the fella didn't know that there's different 9-inch housings. Apparently, if you got a truck from the factory that had highway gears in it, there's a spot in the diff on the face where this bolts up and the crown gear could slip through. They actually machined some of this face out so that that big monstrous highway gear could slip in there. I didn't know that. So when I went to put that pig in, I went, rubber roll. I think this might be a 48-inch. Did some research. Luckily, it didn't turn out that way. This one just doesn't have the machine pockets so that the gear can slip in if you have a highway gear, which we won't be using in this car, so everything's fine. Now, a couple days later, after we sorted that out, working on this stuff's real fun, stressful. Yup. Nothing bolts together when you're doing this stuff. I learned that many, many years ago. A few of my buddies and me used to say, buy it now, worry later. Most things are, should say right on the box. Some modifications may be required. Usually lots of modifications may be required. So anyway, I'm going to take that pig over there, bolt it in that housing over there, square up some brackets, chuck this underneath the car, get some jock stands underneath it, a jock to hold it up so we could square everything up. Maybe we'll take a little video of what we did to get there. And then hopefully by the end of this afternoon we can tack a few spots on the brackets so when Moose has a spare 5 minutes he can come over and burn those in, and then we'll paint that up pretty, measure for the axle length we need, order a pig. And for the first time in close to a year, this thing might actually sit down on some tires and I can, move it around when I'm not working on it, because it's in a fella's way all the time. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Guy's gonna get to work. I'm not, oh yeah, we were working on the roof the last time we talked about that. There's another one. So a guy didn't want to cut the roof off this because he figured that'd be a pain in the ass, but a few buddies said, if you really want a nice job, Dave, a little tired today. If you really want a nice job on your cage for the welds and you can get your welds nice, well, wouldn't it be nice if the roof wasn't in the way? Tack all the bars in there while the roof's on so it's nice and tight to the roof. Give a 6'1" guy some headroom in the car. And yeah, so we did all that work for nothing because I went ahead and found another roof. But, hey, got a little more practice on the old body work because a fella loves body work. Nope. Anyhow, I'm going to get to work. We'll be back.
So you got to figure out center of that pinion.
Graham's doing mathematical things. Neither one of us are good at mathematical when it comes to the... So here's where we're at. I mean, it's in there. But now we got to figure out if the rear end's squaring the car this way and make sure that that bar is parallel, which it looks like it is, but judging by that angle finder, what it says it's not. So we're going to pause until Moose gets here because he knows more about this than we do. And me and Graham are arguing with each other. Right, brother?
You're going to lose.
Well, that's about as far as we're going to get today until Moose Man comes by here and okays the work. Then we can burn those brackets in and I can start ordering some parts to try and get this thing back on its wheels. Graham still thinks I'm wrong about everything.
No, we're good.
He says we're good. If we're not good.
Good morning. Well, got a slow start this morning because I think it's afternoon now, actually. Ah, fellas, F-250 wore out steering stabilizer shock, so we had a slow go to the morning. I had to get to that. Moose is busy with some family stuff, but Graham came by yesterday, helped me get this 9-inch kind of squared into the car. Measured about 650 times every way from Sunday, and I managed to get this thing tacked in here. So that's where we're at for now. Till Moose has a few minutes to come over and burn this in. But as you can see, it's set up on a set of jack stands, and I got a jack on the pinion so that I could jack the pinion to the proper angle before I tack welded everything in place. So all 4 plates are tack welded in there. The bars are set at the correct length. I think that's it for now. Gotta wait for Moose to come by, burn those in, then we'll toss that back in. Figure out the length of shocks we need. Start welding some brackets on the rear diff for the shocks. Got to put a brace across the whole back diff. Shock mounts. Still a ways to go, but that's what the suspension's mostly going to look like, plus a set of shocks. We're getting there. Well, that's it for today for Project Screamin' Chicken. Got that all set up. Wait for Moose to come over and burn all the welds in on that, and then move on to shocks and a panhard bar, and then we can order some axles, figure out the measurements for the axles, measurements for the shocks we're going to need to order, and the center section. I got to decide what gears we're going to put in this. I got a pretty good idea though. Steep. We'll catch you next time.